the freak? Hopefully this sounds good. I feel like I'm in the freaking executioner chair.
Driving for 2
No
hours.
fans?
No fans, no windows, no music.
No fans is kind of OD, dude. Good thing I brought this Snuggie. I'd be done for.
True.
What about my feet?
Poor thing.
This guy's so disrespectful. Yeah, I've shot in Detroit. Rims, we could steal those. No one would ever know.
Gas is on my side, right? Nope.
$7, bro. Doesn't want it. Free of charge. Scumbag. Is this mic still on too? Double dirtbag. Oh, you know what? While he's inside, bro can't stop me. Hold. Like and follow the G Horses. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Free advertising achieved. Am I allowed to chat in between these or no?
You do it however you want to do it. So, like, this is to give us structure. But the whole idea is you go about it how you want to go about it. And I want to see how different people, you use those freedoms. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying. Am I reading these out loud to the public so they get what I'm answering, or am I just answering?
If you want to.
If I want to.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I want
look like
to.
they're working, right? I don't know if I want to.
What's your name, age, and relation to me? You're me? Or me is me? Oh, you're me. Okay.
He's got to think about this one.
Yeah, my name is Christian, but everyone calls me Bob.
God.
Age? Soon to be 19. Or 18 years young. And relation to me? Mentor, sidekick, I guess technically brother. Slave from time to time. Next.
I cannot deny nor confirm these allegations. Put this on the back.
On the back?
Yeah, you'll know you're done when you get back to it.
What do you think most people are getting wrong about life? Define life.
Conception to death. Getting wrong about it. What?
Yeah.
Where do you think most people go wrong?
Where do they go wrong?
When they're thinking about concepts of life. Like, when they're thinking what I could have done better, why I'm not happy, why am I happy, what could I have done better, what am I not doing right now? Like, what do you think
that's
the
biggest
piece
issue.
that's...
Too worried about future or past. I think not enough people spend time in the present. Yeah, I think that's a pretty big one. Like, learn from the mistakes from the past, but you don't have to, like, live in the past. Think about your future, but you don't have to live in the future. You always have to be thinking about, the next thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like, you can plan, you can have goals, but that doesn't mean that you don't need to enjoy what's happening right now, because the goal that you're working on getting towards is a clean Mustang behind us too. The goal that you're working on getting towards, once you get there, if you don't enjoy it, then why was it your goal? So right now you are in something that was your goal. So if you don't enjoy it right now, then that means you won't enjoy the future goal that you're striving to reach.
Yeah. Although you always want to reach higher. But, exactly, it doesn't mean you don't live in the current moment. Do you think that's acceptable enough for this?
Well, there's supposed to be about 10 more minutes. About 10 minutes per card is the goal.
Okay, as long you have times though, right? Like I just asked you, and you're like, about this many more minutes like that?
No, so I'll just be like, some of them will be like 5 minutes, some of them will be like 15. Like, so And the first few, if we can, the goal is kind of just to unlock a certain depth that we want to get to, you know? They're kind of questions just to get you thinking. So, can you think of an example of somebody you know?
Of somebody I know.
Or
like somebody out there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, or someone you've seen, like, yeah, I know plenty of people fucking up. Right, because we read stories, we watch movies.
I don't know. I feel like even myself, online. To a certain extent, like...
There you go. What do you think you're getting wrong right now? Like, if you took a step back and you had to take a guess in X amount of years, what do you think is probably the thing that you see you might be making a change? Or the thing that you have an inkling might need some work, and you kind of already know right now, but it's either not your focus or you maybe don't want to quite admit it to yourself yet, you know?
Probably feeling like I have to give too much of my time to other people.
There you go. I struggle with that too.
Probably the
biggest
thing.
Every single time I watch or listen to something of someone who, like, you know, made X changes and, like, they're doing better right now for whatever reason, it's always, I always hear every one of them say the same thing. The power of no is crazy. Once you learn the power of no.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that'll be the fucking day. Surely.
It's just hard to keep a good balance with it, though. Because you have to obviously know when to say no, but you also have to know when to say yes, because you can't just fall into the habit of always saying no, you know?
Do you think so?
I think so, yeah, because, like, if you get too stingy with it, you know, it's like, eventually, I feel like you start losing people you don't want to lose, you know? The way I see it.
Well, so what if
like
you're
Andrew,
only saying no when you actually want to? Because Andrew, there's not going to be anywhere near as many occasions, right?
I think that's the issue, though, is just not... Don't feel like you always have to say no. You know, like you can take a second. You don't always feel like you have to be doing something, like... You know, you can still spend time with people. Just don't spend majority of your time.
Yeah, I guess there are different no's. There's like...
Yeah.
I actually don't want to do this. No. And then there's like, oh, well, I feel like I should be doing better and I should be focusing on this. No. And then people who you really do want to give time to fall to the wayside, maybe.
Exactly. That's kind of what I mean.
I'll allow it. Okay. You can go to the next one.
What do you think actually makes a life well lived in practice or in practive?
In practice.
Oh, in practice.
Caught.
Do you think actually makes a life well lived in practice? Well, that's different for everyone.
Right.
So, to me...
What if you were looking for...
What do I think? Like, for me, what is...
What if you were looking for a fundamental? Yeah, start there. Start with for you. I think it's also just like when you get to... Sometimes when you get to the end, you realize there were things
probably
that could have done better.
That you have control over.
Okay.
That's...
Give us an example of one that you do and one that you don't. But the one that
I don't. What do you
think?
Have control over it. Don't have control over.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's hard because there's like certain regrets that you technically you always have control over whatever it is, but like I don't. It's hard to explain. I'm trying to think of an example of one that you wouldn't have control over. Example of regret you don't have control over. Well, it's hard because I feel like everything's technically like a decision, you know, but like if you have a regret of not doing something that you're either like physically limited to or just you didn't have enough time to reach whatever it was. If that makes sense.
Like you really genuinely put all your effort in the time frame you had.
Get to whatever point you wanted to, you know? That is a regret, but it's one you don't really have control over. Does that make sense? Like, I regret never being able to just like drive a Ferrari or something, but
wishing it could have gone different.
Time to, yeah, basically. And then I regret you do have control over. If it could be anything. You know, buying a car when you could have, now you can't. You know, something like that. That's instantly where my brain goes, because that's all I really care about. But that's just like.
He said, make it real simple.
Yeah, that's something you have control over, you know. Doing something that seems stupid in the moment, but later you regret.
Okay, so then what about like if you had to, whether it was guessing or just taking a shot in the dark of what like a fundamental that people get wrong? What's something that you think majority of people, when they get to the end, they're like, damn, I wish I did this differently or did this thing better? Like, just if you had to take a guess.
Everyone?
Majority of people. Just like a consensus. Like, most of them probably had this same consensus.
Wasting time, probably. That's a pretty big thing for a lot of people.
So just like putting more effort in? Or just
wasting
making
time
sure
doing
that
something stupid, whether it's, partying, not hanging out with like family more, like whatever it is, whatever form of wasting time. Just, I feel like a lot of people feel like they wasted time doing something that they regret doing. I mean, it kind of loops back to the regret thing, but just, I don't know if that makes sense, but wasting too much time.
Yeah, you just
not focusing on the right things.
Yeah. I think that's a really good one. Because most people probably do look back at one thing that I was talking to Crystal about. What do you think about the whole... So let me ask you two questions, because you came up in a different generation than us, and we really felt like we had it a particular way, and we were expected of something a particular way. When you... Oh, actually, you know what? We can take River. When you were coming up, did you feel that there was more pressure, just like culturally or societally, around enjoy your 20s, make experiences, take some time off, or like lock the fuck in?
100% lock in.
Really?
1,000%.
Like, you think that was like
everywhere is like...
Well, no, okay, yeah.
Continue. Wait, what were you saying?
I just wanted to, make sure that exactly, that it was just like, was the consensus of like people older than you, or the people you were learning from school in, or not necessarily me,
older people,
just like the world in general. What do you feel like was? That's fair. I see what you're saying. When you're younger, the people you're looking up to are always older than you, right? So
yeah, okay. So definitely
from top
more
to bottom.
lock in, because everywhere you see, like, I grew up, I'd say probably around like 11 or 12 is when I got my first phone, just on the internet, and obviously gradually more and more and more on the internet, like the older you get, and it just everywhere is just like some 16-year-old bought some McLaren 720S, and this 15-year-old just bought his mom a house, and all these young people doing super well, and it's a lot of like, like, why aren't you doing well?
So that was like as far back as you can remember, kind of like getting online, having your own like facilities to...
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
Do you remember, or can you remember before that, like before you saw all of that, when you were susceptible to things online, if like it was the same consensus of the people around you, like friends?
I don't know, because I think I was too young to even...
To be focused
like,
in that way?
Yeah, I remember, think about it. Like, it was like...
So...
By the time I started to think about that stuff, I was already in that space, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so me and Crystal, It's about a 10-year age gap, right? I'm 28. Crystal's 27, I believe. And you're
18.
That's clean. Yeah. So when we were growing up, the big thing was to like take time off, don't go to college right away. As soon as you do, soak it up, make experiences, don't put a ton of stress on work, all of these things, like make experiences, meet people, all of these things. That was like our cultural pressure.
Yeah, it feels like
so we had this whole conversation of like, why? I hate that. Yeah. And like I grew up a little bit differently. Like,
yeah,
our dad was very entrepreneurial based, and I love that, and I took from that a lot. You did too. But like I said, culturally, I think that's what we all felt at that point in time. It was very strange. So I think we might kind of just hold on to that. Especially, I think, since I was raised a little bit differently, it's probably a little more difficult for me to see the cultural change because it was always different for me, if that makes sense. But yeah, Crystal felt the same way, and it was just a general consensus. So I think that's a good thing, because that sounds like it's switching, but also because I think it should switch, but in a healthy way. Do you think that there's healthier ways for you to come to that same consensus than seeing all the people on the internet like, why the fuck aren't you doing better? Look, this guy fucking hit Bitcoin overnight and has 2 McLarens, now he's 5 years younger than you. Like,
you're saying, is there a healthier way to have the same outcome?
So yes, as question A, and then B, do you think that because that is some form of toxic, right? Because A, so much of it is scripted and we don't know. So much of it is rented and we don't know. So much of it is fake, and it puts pressure on us.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, why the fuck aren't you doing it? It makes you feel like you're not doing as good as you should or could be, and 3/4 of it's fake anyway. Not all of it, of course, but so there's 100% a level of unhealthy to that. But do you think it's healthier to grow up in the culture we grew up in, or grow up in the culture you're growing up in? That's question B. And then what do you think? Do you think there's a healthier way that it could look?
Well, the healthier way, I think, is just finding real people, because a lot of that comes from like the guru people, and all of that is like rented or scripted or whatever, like you're saying, and then you'll find like actual creators that actually did whatever it is, and the mindset, you can tell, is very different, because one is like trying to pull you up, like, I did it, you can too, and the other one's like, I already did it, why haven't you, if that makes sense? So there's like two different forces. One's like, pull the push, one's like trying to pull you up, while the other one's trying to like push you down, if that makes sense.
100%.
So it's just hard.
I also feel like they focus on different things.
Yeah, definitely. It's just hard to find like that right, either like community or creators or whatever you want to say, just because it's all tailored to what you want at the end of the day, especially like currently, like with how all the AI stuff is. Like, if you grow up and you want to have that like chill in your 20s, the internet can pick up on that very fast and make your recommended that and your algorithm that, so you'll never see the other side of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's tailored what you look at. So if you're looking at more of the like guru side of things, you're gonna see a lot more of that. And if you're looking at the more like, I don't like to use like the self-help because it's so diluted nowadays, but that type of like videos, you'll find more of those people that are actually trying to help versus push you down, if that makes sense. So I think like the healthier way is just a lot of like
very
self like doing self-diligence and research, and making sure like whoever you're watching and following is like the like proper people, or actually have some sort of like proof or evidence or whatever it is, like, and
consistency of what they're doing. I think if you can actually be consistent,
because a lot of
the
people too
it,
have like, if you're watching like content creators, a lot of them have stuff dated back 10, 15 years, and you can go watch it all, versus someone that's maybe been only making videos for a year or two, and his first video was him with a Ferrari. Is it easier to tell when something's, you know, rented and faked and script, especially the more time you spend in it. And then what was your second question?
So culturally, what do you think a healthier way could look like of creating that same, you know, like we need to lock in for the 20s and really build something worth something once we're 30? Because like me and Crystal were talking, it's like, well, now we're 30 and everyone's like, well, you should have tried harder in your 20s. But the whole time we're in our 20s, they're like, enjoy this, you're gonna miss this, you're gonna, and we're like, no, we should have locked the fuck in. And now we also feel like we have all this fucking pressure.
Yeah, I think it really just comes down to obviously like what you want. I feel like a lot of people don't like to admit that. Like, if you don't actually want to put the work in at those ages, then it's just not going to happen regardless. So a lot of it is having to like make that decision like on your own, you know?
Yeah.
Is the Honda easy? What'd you say? Oh, how to make it more healthy?
Well, what would a healthier culture look like? That still gets you motivated. Because like I said, when me and Crystal were growing up, the culture was different, as in, you know, just chill, enjoy, don't work too hard.
Are you saying,
but now it's in like an unhealthy way.
How could we do it? Or are you saying like in a perfect world, if I could just like choose how to do it?
Do both. Do the perfect world first. Like, what do you think would look best? And then what do you think your idea of what could actually be a real world application?
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to answer the question properly because I think there's not enough background. I think it's too broad of a question. How to make it more... Say it one more time.
So how would you make the culture shift from, oh, sit back, enjoy it, don't work too hard in your 20s, like you really want to take in these experiences, can't get this time back, to, no, we need to lock the fuck in because you have the rest of your life and you can enjoy it from 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 60, 70. You should be building something in your 20s because that's when you have your biggest drive. That's when your brain is... Okay, well,
called me and
I should probably answer that. Okay. Hold, pause. Hello?
Hello, can one of you guys pick up James?
We're halfway up Bogus in the middle of a car cast.
Oh, okay.
We is very, very far.
Okay, when are you guys going to be done with that?
Probably another hour and a half.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right, sorry.
Is it just you and Bob?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
So basically just how to make the culture shift.
Music isn't going to play. Yeah, so how do you get that? Oh, hold on. Let's do like right here is when we'll come back because when I'm editing. Okay, we're back. Yeah, so how do you make that culture shift, but like in a healthy way? Because we should be locking in. There's so many reasons I feel like we should be utilizing our 20s instead of wasting them. To you, that probably sounds foreign, but that's what we were taught. That's what we were told. So I think the culture change is good. Because you just explained to me that it was different for you, and you're a 10-year difference. So that generational difference, I think,
definitely different.
But it's in an unhealthy way because I think majority of people on the internet are selling you something that's not real. So it's motivating you, but it's also putting you down here, you know?
Yeah.
Or making you feel like you're down here, and you shouldn't. It should, like you said, there's a pull and there's a push, like different kinds of content and creators and people. It doesn't have to be content creation, but you know what I mean? Like people that lift you up towards what you want and want to help and teach you, and then the people who just make you feel like, oh, you should have done it. Why haven't you done it? You're just fucking lazy, yada, yada, yada. Which, that can be true. I'm not discounting that. But it's obviously very different sides of the spectrum, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, what does your real world application look like that might just be simpler.
I feel like real
than
world,
it sounds.
it's not like possible.
Right. But we always talk about, if we could do it in the real world, if you were going to take a stab, what would you try?
I don't even know. It's such an interesting question. It's so, I feel like I was saying before, I feel like it's so broad. It's so hard to think of
actual applications that could control that.
Yeah, because it's such a wide net to try to get, if that makes sense.
Well, if you want to chew on it, I'll have you on again at some point, and we could always come back to that one. It could be you get some time to chew on that one,
I was trying.
As you work on building a community and finding your communities.
Because I think that's what I was going to say. I feel like that's the biggest thing is just communities. You have to find the right community.
Yeah.
I think that's what would make the biggest shift is having set communities for certain things.
It's crazy how much you don't realize you need it until you find it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is what it feels like to be a part of something people want me to be a part of and that I want to be a part of,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people grow up thinking you have to create it, you have to make it. You don't. 99% of the time there's already a group of people out there who are fucking cheesing over the same shit you are. Mm-hmm. And when you find those people, it's just...
That's what I'm saying. I think that's the biggest thing. I just don't know how, because communities, but I don't know how you would implement that in a way to make an entire culture shift, you'd have to find a way to make a more accessible thing and a heavier monitored thing without being too restrictive, if that makes sense.
And that's a very, very hard thing to do. That's fair.
So I think that is what would help best, because if there's a community where you could go for whatever you like to do in particular, because then the people that prefer to go chill, they have a community for that. Someone that would rather put time in early rather than later, have a community for that. People that feel like it's too late, they're already 40, 50, and they feel like they don't have time, there's a community for that, because anything's possible at the end of the day. I feel like having a community is the biggest drive and push for that, especially if it's filled with other people that are trying to do the same thing or have already done the same thing. So if you could have a
That's
monitored
true.
community, then it would be much better. I feel like you wouldn't have to worry about you wouldn't have to worry about accidentally running into the toxic side of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I do want to say real quick while we're here, because we'll move to the next question. I like that. I think that's awesome. Something I don't feel like gets said enough, but it was revolutionary when I heard it, and it still is every time I hear it. It's something I forget. Why are we listening to people who have never done what we wanted to do or what we want to do about what we should be doing to get there? If your mom or your dad or your grandma or your teacher or your fucking boss is telling you something, how you're doing this and that and that and this wrong, and you should be doing this and that and that and this, but they've never fucking done what you want to do, we're past the grain of salt. Throw it out the window. Unless it's general, stop being a shithead. Yeah, sure, stop being a shithead. But outside of that, we shouldn't be listening to people who have never done what we're trying to do.
I think it's worth, though, with that, it's hard. I feel like you should be a little careful with that, though, because I think people on the same journey that maybe haven't done it yet but are working towards the same thing, I think it's fine to take advice from.
I think that's a very, very good thing to point out, because that's when you find your community.
But they have a lot of...
If you're in that community and they have the same passion,
research,
if they're just as passionate about it, then yeah, I concur.
Yeah, I feel like intuition's a big thing too that a lot of people ignore.
Yeah.
It's
That's
weird,
fair.
but I don't know, I feel like that's its own thing. But it's weird, I feel like it definitely has some sort of effect, though.
Alright. Well, let's go to the next question.
Do you think meaning is something we discover or something we create? Both.
BOFA.
Yeah. You discover and then you create something out of it.
So you think...
discover mechanics and then you create the shop. You discover art and then you create your own art. I feel like it's something you discover and then you create your own of it. Because no two things are the same, you know?
Yeah, when you're discovering it, what exactly are you...
Oh, that thing.
Like, through what are you discovering, you know? Like, when you say you discover mechanics, you just discover it because you saw cars, or you tried working on a car, you helped your buddy with something, and then it's like, you think it's something that's inherent? Like, all of a sudden, now, I felt it, and I know it. Like, you think, it's already there, you just have to find it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think engineers is a good example, too. It's like something you end up, you know, figuring out about, you discover it, whether it's how the mechanics work, or you drive it, and they're like, oh, this is interesting, how does, like, every little piece work together, you know? And then an engineer discovers that, and they go and make something, because they're, like, very intrigued how it works, and then they create something new, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's very much both.
Fair enough. Okay. I don't know if I agree. Obviously, there's going to be different for everybody, right? But I don't know if I agree that it's inherent.
What do you mean?
I think a lot of the time it will be, but like when you find the thing. I don't know if I necessarily agree that the thing is always there to start.
Yeah.
You know, like when people say acquired taste. They really didn't like it at first, but through time they acquired the taste.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes...
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
I wonder how many people like grew up as ranchers and they fucking hated it. Because it fucking sucks being a rancher.
Yeah.
You know? But then later in life they're like, yeah, shit, I could have been a pussy. And I wasn't. Like a lot of things in life I got through because I was raised differently, you know? It just as an example.
Yeah, but...
farmers are the toughest
guys. I don't know if that
but they're pretty close.
Is like the meaning. I don't know. Because that's
true.
Like not, you know, that's like being grateful for something, or, you know, not regretting something, or being happy things played out the way they did, versus like what your meaning of life is.
Yeah, so I definitely feel like in that case, then I feel like there's people
it definitely
with the same example.
Side.
Like you just grow up in a lot of the time you just do what your parents did.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if it was a success.
Well, I think
success.
That's
so.
The
How many people do you think?
A lot of people don't have meaning.
Never develop it.
Yeah, they just.
But they feel like they do. I know a lot of people, you know, who just did what their parents did, and they seem happy. I mean, they're not jumping out of their seat, you know, like all the time, but they are content. They have a family they love. They just do the thing they did above them, and it brings them a good life. Like you said, they're grateful.
That's majority of people, I feel like, just don't understand.
They just never found it yet.
Yeah, what either more is like there or accessible, whatever it is, and they just never bothered to find it because it's just like it is what you do. You wake up, you go to work, you come back. Like,
I wonder what people are working towards if it's not of large ambition. You think it's just contentness? A lot of people are just working to be comfortable. Well, I think more people think about it than we think.
Yeah, but I don't know. Most people that don't have a bigger goal are just working for current happiness. If that makes sense.
Do you think that they think they're happy? If they get to go home and they get an hour or two,
they think they're happy, but
you think
eventually they realize that they're not, and that's when a lot of regret comes in for a lot of people, and the time wasting, and I wish I didn't, you know, do all this partying. I wish I didn't buy this $100,000 car when I was 19. So I think a lot of people make big mistakes, and they don't realize until eventually they'll realize at some point that they're not actually happy with their life, and that's when it's like, why am I not happy? Like I should be, or, you know. And that's when I feel like a lot of people realize that
they actually have to sit down and look at it from start to where they're at now.
Yeah.
So sounds like people just need to want it more.
They need to lock in.
Yeah, first of all, they do need to lock in.
Yeah, I think a lot of people...
What was the question?
Do you think meaning is something we discover or something we create? I think a lot of people don't ever get the chance to discover it is the issue. Because
right. So they just feel like they created
people
it.
They were around, or just never looked for it. I think that's a big issue too.
If they're actually content, what if they did create it? What if their meaning doesn't have to be above and beyond? Do you think there's level to meaning, like scale? Because just because someone
if you're happy, you're happy. Like,
extraordinarily.
There's a lot of people that are family people that just are happy having
content.
A family. Like,
and like they really are. Like they feel whole at night, you know?
Yeah, so as long as that's like...
So do you think those people created it?
To an extent. I feel like, like I said, I feel like it leans towards the create side, but it's still all a discovery. Like, you discover...
Maybe they just discovered they didn't need anything bigger.
Or, you, like, your friend has a kid or something, like, oh, and that this is something I want to do. I want to have a family one day, or you see a lot of families. So I feel like it's always, there's always some sort of discovery. Because you can't know, you can't create without a know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can't build a house without knowing what is.
Yeah, you have to have the goal.
Yeah, so... It all starts with discovery, and then it turns into create, I think is why I said both. Like, you discover the thing, and then you create off of the discovery.
Okay. We'll go to the next one.
Who are you when no one is expecting anything from you? You're going to have to explain this one to me a little bit.
Really? I actually felt like you were the only person I wouldn't have to explain that to.
Who are
Not
you?
in a bad way, but...
Who are you when no one is expecting anything from you? You're just saying, like...
Your whole life seems to be people expecting things from you.
Yeah. But, like, who am I?
What if nobody did?
That's the part I'm going to suck up on. Who am I in what sense?
What are your passions? What do you enjoy? What would you spend your time doing? What do you, like those things. Like, not necessarily a day in the life, but a day in the mind of type thing.
I don't know. That's a hard question.
If you weren't constantly having to help other people or do stuff for other people, what would you be doing? Why? Where'd it come from?
I mean, just making videos, working on cars. That would be basically all I was doing, I feel like.
Why?
If I had the money for it. Well, just because, like, there's something that's satisfying about working on cars and learning about them. There's something about all the little, how all the little things work together as delicately as they do to produce what they do.
So Bob's an engineer, not a mechanic. Cop.
When you're able to make videos on it, you're able to, like, share, and it helps you in a sense too, because it ties back to the community thing. Like, you put something out there, like, hey, I need help understanding this, I want to have ideas, or vice versa, where you find someone that puts something out there and you can help them, or you put something out there that helps other people, because there's a lot of people that want to get into the same hobby but are just too afraid to, because it's not only is it expensive, but it's a pretty, like, big thing, and it's easy to mess up small things. So being able to, put videos out there that can help someone feel more confident about taking on a task, I think is just, I don't know, I think it's neat.
It adds to the world.
Yeah, I think it's just
you can do something
nice
you can enjoy, but you can still give back.
You like, yeah. So
where'd it come from?
I don't know. I drove the white 550. I was like, that's interesting.
Good one. You said that's interesting.
And then after that, I was just like, it's so weird how you can drive, like, it's interesting how you can drive, say, a brand new BMW or a brand new Subaru, and they feel completely different. And it's like, why do they feel so different? Like, they're both 2 cars with 4 doors. Like, there's not. And then you learn, you know, about the engines. You learn about how they both have, like, you know, they say they both have all-wheel drive, but they're completely different systems. Like, and it's just interesting how you can have 2 of the same things that varies like as greatly as they do, while still both working exceptionally well for what each purpose is for them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah, I think it was just interesting to me to be like, there's like a car out, like a car from 2006 that does everything better than a brand new, like, you know, whatever it is, like a brand new Subaru. But maybe the Subaru has all-wheel drive, 2006 one's rear-wheel drive, you know, and the Subaru might have more space or something for the trunk, like. So it just intrigued me, I think, and like learning how small the room for air is, like how closely everything has to work, like as perfectly as it does for the car to produce what it produces. Like, something can be half a millimeter off and your car could be toast, you know? Like, there's not a lot of room for air.
And there's a bazillion parts that have to move
precise.
in perfect harmony.
So it was just interesting to me, and being able to like fix that and learn about it. It's a very interesting like rabbit hole that you get lost in forever, because there's just so many different cars, so many different brands, so many different configurations, so many different like drivetrains. Like, it's like a never-ending something that you can always learn more about, and not. I think it's a good like level of challenge too, where it's not. There's some things that are super hard to learn, and then some things that aren't as hard to learn, and you kind of get to control that a little bit. And as you learn more, it makes it easier to solve different unrelated problems, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think it's just a hobby that can go as in depth as you want it to be, or it can be as simple as just, oh, I want to learn how to do my own oil change because I can save $20 instead of taking it in, or I'd rather just learn how to take care of my car myself because I don't have to worry about someone else messing something up. So it's something that can be super entry level that anyone can get into, that can go all the way down to being like, you know, rebuilding full cars because it's something that you enjoy doing for one reason or another.
I also think that I love that. I love all that. James on YouTube, and one of the things that he brought up one time, and it just never really clicked for me like that, but I'm like, that's 1,000,000% true. And I think it's, again, one of those things that everybody doesn't hear. And sometimes, like, it was one of the things for me that just confused me. And when he said it, it made so much sense and kind of gave me clarity, and clarity fucking feels nice. So I just wanted to add that I think your car, when you're growing up, so especially when you're younger, kids tend to get into cars. It's not like an uncommon thing. I think it's a huge way to express a part of your identity. Like, you're finding your identity. Like, and there's a bazillion different cars, and they all say so much about you, I think. So when you're getting into cars and you're not exactly sure why, one of my things, it was like an identity thing. Like, sometimes it's not the fastest, sometimes it's not the most comfortable, sometimes it's not the prettiest to you. Looks are a lot more opinionated than other things, but it says a lot about you, and the reasons you love it and the reasons you enjoy it is largely associated with this identity that you're, you know, building and piecing together when you're younger, because you don't know who the fuck you are. So I think that's really neat too. What's the next question?
What experiences shaped you more than you realized at the time? What experiences shaped you more than you realized traumatized at the time. Shaped you in what kind of way?
Just there's just a difference. You changed through this experience. And you didn't
driving the white 550.
You didn't think that you would change as much as you did.
I didn't expect it at all to lead to what it did.
So what did that experience feel like? What was that experience? What put you in that situation? And then, what did you expect out of it? And then what ended up coming out of it? And why do you think?
Well, I don't know, because you just asked me, like, hey, you want to try driving it? I was like, sure. I just figured, I don't know, I just never driven before. I just seemed like, oh, I don't know, I just wanted to drive it, never done it before. It seemed like it could be fun. And then after driving it, it's almost like it just opened my eyes more. I don't know.
When I drove a motorcycle for the first time, I was like, whoa. It was like this feeling. And it's not even something that I do. But when I did it for the first time, it was like there was a feeling that not took over. It's almost like when you hit nicotine. And like you can feel the stress leaving.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
That's how it felt the first time I drove in the neighborhood, especially alone.
Yeah, like you're driving through another dimension. There's no snap. It just kind of takes over very graciously or gracefully.
Yeah, I think that's very, very, very similar to how I felt the first time driving the white 550.
It's pretty out here.
I think it just opened me up to what cars could be.
You think that happened through feeling?
Yeah. It was just a very different feeling, and like, I don't know, I'd probably driven Mama's car like once before that. I don't know.
And that is a
Ford Expedition 2007.
So very different.
Yeah.
Same year, 1 year off.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was just a very interesting feeling.
And then what ended up coming out of it? How did that transpire?
It's technically everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to me. But I know you really well.
I don't know. It's the only reason I started getting into cars. It's the only reason that I started learning about them. It's the only reason that I don't know. It's hard because I feel like people that don't know, it's just there's not much to say. I don't know. It seems weird.
What if they're an artist? How would you try to create a relatable way for them to? Obviously, they already know. But does that make sense? It's like when you.
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to explain.
Fair enough. If there's
it's just like
if it is what it is, that's okay.
It just. I don't know.
We can go to the next one if you want.
I'm just trying to think.
You could always chew on that one, and we can come back to that one next time I have you on too.
Opens your mind, or it opened my mind more than I thought it would, and it changed my entire trajectory massively, because being a mechanic was nothing that I was always into cars, I guess, even growing up, watching Fast and Furious and stuff, especially the Cars movie, the cartoon, 10 out of 10. But I don't know if I ever, I don't know, because I was pretty young at the time, but I know that at the time I never saw it in any point in my future working on them, even like just a DIYer, and that's probably because I didn't have like a car. But it definitely opened me up to wanting a car and to wanting to learn to work on them and to wanting a shop and to wanting, everything that comes with it, if that makes sense. So I think that's the biggest change or the biggest way it shaped me.
I see you. I'll allow it.
Okay, you want to go next?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you think hardship changes people or just reveals what they already are? Define like hardship.
It looks different for everyone.
It definitely changes people, I'd say.
He said
reveals
100%.
What they already are is just interesting. I couldn't think of anything that would be revealing from a hardship.
Someone's hooked on drugs. They want more drugs. They're down bad. They end up stealing grandma's jewelry and pawning it to get drugs. Do you think they were always just a scumbag?
Oh. No, it definitely changes people.
Do you think...
Because at that point, your brain is chemically altered.
Right.
And you're already destroyed and lost a certain part of yourself. So
do you think
definitely changes people.
Do you think if there aren't direct, drugs involved, that you can still get chemically altered through very, very dramatic experiences?
Yeah.
Can you think of any examples of people you know or an experience in your life that you would consider hardship, that you, kind of similar to the last question, you realized the change, and what did that change look like?
Change.
Well, because you said changes. I don't think you're wrong. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, but yeah.
Hardship changes people. God, that subi is nice.
It was like a hot sauce.
Changes people. It's hard. Changes. I'm trying to think of a full-blown change I've had.
It doesn't have to be any insane, crazy change, but...
Because, an example, when the White 550 blew up, that made me way more, focused on trying to figure out what the problems are, how hard it is, trying to find rebuilds, trying to actually find how to get ISTA on, a computer. It made me a lot more, engaged and caused more urgency, but I don't know if that's necessarily a change.
Gotcha.
I don't think I would have learned as fast as I did if that didn't happen. So I don't know if that's considered a change or not. But
that means it manifested into a change, whether it was a change in that
might be a better way, because if the 550 was still running right now, I don't think I'd be anywhere near as technically far I am, just with knowledge. I don't think I would have, and obviously that comes from what came from that too, with in different cars and stuff, but it's almost it brought it to the front of my mind, if that makes sense. So it definitely changed my outlook and focus on it, if that makes sense. It changed my goals. I don't know if that's...
There you go. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
For that, but...
there's not right or wrong or good enough or not good enough. I just want you to feel content with what you're saying about the subject. As long as you feel like it's a full answer, then it's a full answer.
That's supposed to be on.
Yeah, we can probably kill it. I turned it on for the defrost windows, but they look good right this second. See, you can go to the next one if you want.
When your values conflict, how do you usually decide? Give me an example of values conflicting.
We own a 2008 Alpina B7.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you genuinely care about the history and the longevity of that vehicle and its life. So we have a lot of problems. It gets expensive. It gets stressful. It's not a car we want to drive all the time because we don't want it to break, and we're worried about it breaking, right?
Yeah.
But you want to keep that car alive, healthy, and happy. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
You also want tens of thousands of dollars, and you don't want to carry all of the burden of stress that brings.
Mm-hmm.
So you've flip-flopped a million times, as have I, about selling it and not selling it. As an example of your values conflicting. He said, well, I haven't decided.
Yeah.
But use that as an example, you know.
I don't know. That's super hard because I can't think of a time when my values conflicted, so having an actual decision came out of it. I don't know. How do you usually decide?
So there's going to be experiences, obviously, we're not thinking about, and some will be smaller, some will be bigger.
I would say, just like a general thumb, is I usually try to decide what would lead to less regret.
Like long-term regret.
Yeah.
Something could be hard right now, but it can be, isn't there? It's like the classic marshmallow. You want one marshmallow now, or wait one day and get 4 marshmallows, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like reverse of Uno. Can you think of any example where your values conflicted? It doesn't even have to be major.
Values conflicted. I don't know. It's hard because I feel like it's hard to think of a time when my values conflicted that heavily. So I feel like my values are usually in one place, if that makes sense. I don't know if that does or not, but there's usually not like my values usually don't conflict, I guess. I don't know.
Fair enough. Okay. We can move on from that one if you want.
Yeah, I'm not happy with the answer. I just want to know what answer makes me happy when your values conflict. How do you usually decide? Values conflict. How do you usually decide? I don't know. I think I gave my best answer. I think it's just, I usually try to decide what will ever lead to less regret, I think.
Good answer. I think it's a good answer. I'll probably use that in the future.
What do you think people sacrifice too much of in modern life? What do you think people sacrifice too much of in modern life? Time, probably. That's still recording, yeah?
Should be. I really hope so. Okay.
What do you think people sacrifice too much of in modern life? Time. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think it's a good answer. Elaborate. There's a lot of different ways time can be used. I was going to say used and wasted.
Yeah.
I said used. It's a new word. There's the merch for this video. Used.
The merch is crazy.
Yeah, I'm doing air fresheners.
Did you already make them?
No, but I need to get a website just because I think it's fun. That's another thing James does. I really like it. Like, there's X amount. I'm going to post how many of them there are, and I'm going to put them on the website, and there's going to be one merch per video. There's a lot of ways that time could be used, wasted, utilized properly. Like what?
I don't know. I think the problem is that it only depends, like, wasted if it's wasted to you.
Right.
So it's its own thing for everyone.
So that's what I'm saying. I think you're right, but what does the general idea for that look like?
The general idea.
What does wasted time look like?
I don't know. I think
as
people
a consensus for most people
waste too much time.
And that's the thing of it.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Yeah, I think people waste too much time on I think people waste too much time on like distractions, I guess is the best way to say it. I think people waste too much time being distracted.
I like that. Yeah, because everybody has something that they know they should be doing. Mm-hmm. Everybody has something that they know they want to work towards once you discover it, right? Meaning-wise, once you find it, you know. Maybe this is the spot. I keep looking. And it's just barely too hidden. There's another spot right up there. So everybody, once they find it, everybody has something that they know they should be putting effort and time into. So once you realize it was just too late, not too late, but once you stop and realize, damn, the reason I haven't achieved all of this yet is because I haven't been putting the time into it that I could have or should have if I say I actually want this thing. Mm-hmm. If the thing isn't as important as you say it is, that's fine. Maybe there were other things that are more important, and that is what it is, but you were probably putting time into those things that you actually wanted. But sometimes in life, you start to feel like, oh, well, this just needs my attention. I just couldn't get around to it. I was just dealt shitty cards. Nope. You can be dealt shitty cards and still get it done. You just have to want it bad enough. I really do think that. If it's not something that you can create time for under almost any, I'd say 99% of circumstances, then you probably haven't discovered the thing yet.
Anything else good for that one or no?
If you're content with your answer.
I'm content with my answer. I just don't know how in depth you want me to go or how much you want me to, I don't know.
However much you want to. Again, like there's no right or wrong answers,
Okay, then we'll go next, I suppose. What belief about life took you the longest to accept? What belief about life took you the longest to accept? Belief about life took you the longest to accept. Do you answer these questions on your own thing? You should start doing that. See how it changes over time. Just give like a simple, like, one sentence answer yourself,
I do when people ask me.
this CarCast has, since this one, someone said this, and it really changed my outlook on this,
I was thinking that 100%, yeah. So when people ask me, I absolutely answer, and every time I talk to somebody, I still, I can feel it changing a little bit every time, just because insights are huge, perspectives.
What belief about life took you the longest to accept? is a hard one.
Those are the ones worth talking about.
What belief about life took you the longest to accept? What belief about life took you the longest to accept? Probably that perfect doesn't exist.
That's a really good one. What does that look like for you? And through what experiences like helped you most with finally coming to that realization?
I don't know, just always trying to get the perfect thing, or trying to have like the perfect setup for whatever it is, or trying to, you know, wait to do something until you have the perfect environment, or you know, waiting to buy something until you have the perfect like setup for it, or you have the perfect finances for it, or I think just trying to wait or make something perfect is almost impossible. I don't know.
Do you think that perfect is subjective or objective?
I mean, it depends what you're talking about, I guess.
How often do you think someone is chasing somebody else's perfect and that's why they can't find it? They can't achieve it. Because it never quite feels perfect to them.
Probably pretty often. Especially with like art. Or like, you know, any form of art, but I don't know. It's weird. Belief about life took you the longest to accept.
Well, I think your answer is good.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people always want something to be perfect, or hope something is perfect, or wait for something to be perfect, and I feel like your expectations will never reach that perfect like category or catalog, you know?
Yeah.
Like, even if something is technically perfect, it probably still won't be perfect for what you want it to be. And depending on the scenario, you might even be like self-sabotaging, you know, and just coming up with excuses as to why something's not perfect, even if it is. So,
God.
I think that's a good answer, no?
I do think that's a good answer, yeah, absolutely.
You go next, or no?
If you want to. If you're content with your answer.
What do you worry about now that you think you eventually won't? I think I eventually won't. Money. I think that's kind of a stupid answer, though. I don't think that's the answer I was looking for.
That would be my answer. I'll be honest. It doesn't have to be deeper than that. Like, there's the people who, money shouldn't be your priority. Dude, fuck that. Like, that's just not true. You need it to live. You don't have a healthy relationship with money if you sincerely think that you don't need it to be content, healthy, happy. Like, no, there's a million ways to get it. You don't have to have all of it in the world, but you need to have enough to not worry about if you're gonna fucking eat, if you have a roof, if you can pay for heat, if you have bigger ambitions, you need more money. And I hate when people think that.
Or goals.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Because people always think, oh,
they
well.
having a family or need more money.
Yeah.
Solo dolo.
Oh, you just want all this money. It's like it's in vain for some reason if you want large amounts of money. Yeah. It does not have to be. Why am I not allowed to love something? Like wholeheartedly love and enjoy it.
I love money.
Yeah, like I'm not talking about the money. I'm just saying,
I know.
The cars cost money, okay, and it's really where I'm happiest. What I enjoy doing, like, yeah, no shit. You're gonna need money. Get it together. Sorry, that's my little rant. But yeah, I'm just saying, I don't think it's a bad answer at all. You can have more than one answer if you want. Like if you want to put something else out there, but I think it's a good answer. I would like to know why you're worried about it now. Like, what does money stop you from doing right now that you want to do? And what kind of fulfillment do you think it's going to bring you once you have it?
I hope all the fulfillment in the world, or else I'm good. I don't know. The biggest thing is definitely just the cars. Not having the proper space to do the work in time and not having the money to get the work done. Especially because it's kind of like a cycle where it's like something breaks and you don't have the money to fix it, which causes more things to break quicker, which causes you obviously don't have the money, and it's just a big loop, which just becomes a massive repair bill because you couldn't afford the first, $100 fix, or you didn't have the time to do it because you couldn't afford the proper tools to do it.
Typical. Well, I think that's a good answer too.
Are you good at answering?
Huh?
You ready to go to the next one?
Yep.
I like to make sure that you are ready. You make sure you have nothing more to say.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're good.
What do you think you'll understand much better 10 years from now? Cars.
Bob said I'm a simple man, damn it.
I don't know. That's an interesting one. What do you think you'll understand much better 10 years from now? I don't know. I don't think. I think 10 years out. Well, I feel like if it's something that I don't understand now that I'll understand in 10 years, then I don't know what it is. I feel like. Something you think you'll understand much better 10 years from now. What do you think you'll understand much better 10 years from now? What do you think you'll understand much better 10 years from now? Dang, look at that Porsche. It's metallic blue right behind this freaking Shat Hawk.
Typical.
I don't know, that's a hard one. How am I supposed to freaking know?
That's why it says, what do you think? Not what do you know for sure you're going to know.
Well, yeah, but I feel like if it's something that I think I'll understand, I don't know. They understand much better. See that?
That does not look like a Tesla.
What do you think you'll understand much better 10 years from now? I mean, lots of things. What kind of thing are you looking for? What answer are you looking for?
Whatever answer comes to mind.
Everything.
Cop.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
And then pick
cars, money, business,
Oh, there is another car up there that I did not see.
Dang, it's about 2 feet too.
I tried to look because like there was no car. There was no one there.
So now David's the bad guy.
Yeah, she was stopping super early, like a dozen times and driving really slow.
Yeah.
So I thought she just left a giant gap, and I'm like, hey, I'm actually trying to get through here.
I don't know, maybe relationships. How to have more healthy relationships.
Think the ones you have now could use some work?
Probably.
Mine definitely could. I need to get much better at setting boundaries. I hate that boundaries have this like bad association.
Yeah.
They should have a good association, I feel like. Then more people would want to use them.
Yeah, or maybe a better thing is that like social skills. And then it's easier to like set those boundaries. I don't know. Something along those lines probably.
Can you think of any examples?
Well, like same thing we were talking about earlier, just like feeling like you can't say no in certain situations, or you shouldn't, or giving too much time to other people.
Fair enough.
If someone truly understood one thing about how to live well, what should it be? If someone
I see what you've been doing.
Understood.
You show the camera
thing
so that you can read the next
how
question.
To live well.
Oh, sly like, interesting.
No, I haven't been reading the next ones at all. If someone truly understood one thing about how to live well, what should it be? Or else I'd be way more prepared. I don't know. This is a hard one. Someone truly understood one thing about how to live well. What should it be? Someone truly understood one thing about how to live well? Well, what does live well mean? It's different for everyone.
No.
Live well?
The feeling.
The feeling of being well.
Of living well. Being content. Happy with your decisions.
Happy and content or different? Someone truly understood one thing about how to live
happy
well.
with your decisions and content.
I think we content
are like right there. Yeah, but you can be content in your space and happy with the decisions you made.
Someone truly understood one thing about how to live well. What should it be?
Whatever that looks like. Whatever you think that looks like for a general consensus. So not what most people think. What do you think something is that everybody universally would not regret, would feel good about through their entire life?
Like a change they could make?
It's just something they could do.
Quit wasting so much time.
It could be a mentality.
That's what my thing always comes
back. Lock the fuck in.
Yeah.
What do you...
It's all just freaking regret and wasting time, bro. I think that's what everything loops back to.
Is it get it together?
Stop wasting so much time.
I mean, that's a really good answer, too.
Money.
Like, I don't think I would ever regret having extra money and time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, about living well. Properly managing your finances for what your goals are and what you need to do to achieve said goals.
I like it. Yeah, everyone's not going to be the same.
Yeah, I think people don't have big enough goals to get to a certain point, and they spend money that they shouldn't if they don't have those goals, and vice versa. I feel like some people have big goals, but they're too afraid to spend the money to do it, or to, make an attempt at it. I think that's probably the biggest thing, or one of the things. I shouldn't say biggest. I think time's the biggest, but I think that's a pretty good thing.
All right, now, before you read the next one.
Okay. I haven't read it. Why does not trust me, dude?
What's your biggest regret in life?
What's my biggest regret in life?
That is the last guest question that they left to you.
Oh, before I read the next one?
Uh-huh.
What's the biggest regret? This scumbag. The biggest regret I have in life.
Keep in mind that the person never knows who they're giving this question
Yeah,
to.
I know. I'm too young for this, bruh. Biggest regret.
He said, I wasn't ready to face my regrets until quite a ways down the road.
Biggest regret. David really wants the answer to this one. Bro is waiting patiently. Bro is praying on my downfall.
It's not true. That's slander on my name.
Biggest regret.
Don't appreciate these allegations.
I mean, wasting time. It all comes back to the same thing. Like, so much time wasted. That's the biggest thing.
You know, it's super interesting.
David does not like that answer.
No, I love that. I appreciate that. It's so interesting to me that you can ask someone 18 years old what their biggest regret is, and they say wasted time. I should use my time. And you can ask someone who's 90 years old, what's your biggest regret? And they say wasted time.
Because everyone wastes
the
it.
Only because we are all scumbags.
Yeah.
It's just mutually agreed. You could always do better. So then do you think there's an argument of, well, why would I try and stress out over it so much if I'm going to be 90 years old and agree I wasted too much time anyway?
No. Because you'll
you stop
always
being silly.
regret it. You'll always regret it. So don't try to, like... You can be content in that, but it doesn't mean just go waste all your time because you're going to waste it anyways. Then you'll just regret it even more because that regret will strike.
Stupid.
Regret will strike. Regret always strikes. Regret is the one thing that you can't ever change and will always strike.
Regret is the one thing that can never change and will always strike.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Okay, I'll allow it. All right, you can go to the next one.
What's one question you can leave for the next guest that you think will spark an important conversation or at least a meaningful one? But didn't really spark a good conversation. It died pretty quick. Unless you thought that was a good conversation.
I thought it was, yeah.
Okay. One question you can leave for the next guest that you think will spark an important conversation or at least a meaningful one. So now, since the last guest prayed on my downfall, that's why I get to pray on the next guy's downfall. Now he's getting the wrath from two people. That's kind of messed up. Can it be like a multi-question question?
Yeah, you can be whatever you want it to be.
Oh, this guy is screwed. Welly.
I might know who it is already.
Really? Don't tell me yet.
I'm not going
I'm gonna make the question and then I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna feel what?
Skamazed.
Why? Is it James?
No.
Who is it?
Proceed.
I don't want to know now.
Too bad.
Dude, well, I could give a better question if I knew who it was.
Start praying.
Oh my god. Are they just gonna give a lame answer? Be honest.
No.
Oh god. That's a little, okay, interesting. Question you can leave for the next guest that you think will spark an important conversation or at least a meaningful one. What's one question? Oh, I gotta write this down. I want to make sure that this is refined.
A few moments later.
Okay, I think I got it. Hold on, let me check.
And what is it?
Okay. What's your biggest goal and why haven't you achieved it yet? And what advice can you give to other people that could help them achieve their biggest goal? Is that a good one or is that a bad one?
That's a good one. For me, I like it. If I got it, I'd be pretty stoked about it.
Oh, God. Who's getting it?
Okay. GG's, very great success, very good success.
You think?
I think it was a really fucking good one, yeah. I actually really enjoyed that.